Grace Simon here with the New Doors Mentorship and Coaching. And I hope your morning has been absolutely amazing already. Who's out there already having a fantastic morning? What is your morning been like? What's your morning routine? It all really falls into the morning routine, really will determine what your morning is like. I have found that to be true over and over again. If I get out of rhythm, if I get out of routine, then my days shift and they change. And that's really the key to, being focused, living an intentional life, is establishing these habits, establishing these morning rituals. It really has become good morning. It really has become everything. This morning ritual routine. If you listen to any successful person on the platforms today, they will tell you what are the keys to success. It's not magic. There's no such thing as magic. It really comes down to consistency, intentionality, good habits, and doing it over and over again, taking action on what it is that you are desiring for your life, what you're being intentional about. Very simple, very easy. Well, not that it's easy, because it's not. If it was easy, then everybody would be in alignment with their purpose and their why and, driving force of what it is that they feel like they want to fulfill in your life. This morning, I want to talk about, good morning. This morning, I want to talk about the power of decision. Some of you have had a really tough year last year. 2023 was not a good year for many people. I'm grateful because, I've learned that regardless of things happening in my life, whether they're good, bad, ugly, and wonderful, it's all in how you bring it forward to the next year, how you perceive what, those challenges were about, and how you handled them, how you came through them, and how you're going to bring them forward in your life. And so last year, on many levels, was absolutely it was amazing. It was such an amazing year. The challenging thing was losing two very important people in my life, and that's very challenging. So for those of you that lost somebody last year and you're still mourning that loss, or you're sad about that loss, I want to say I understand, and that can be hard. But even in that, losing somebody, and how do you move forward? What's your life going to be like without that person? That's a question of discovery in itself, right? You don't know until you take steps forward and make that decision that, well, as long as I'm alive, I have that responsibility to live it fully and abundantly. And what you do with it is your responsibility. I've talked about, the responsibility of people. We are not responsible for people. We're not responsible for how they respond, how they appreciate, how they acknowledge, how they value you. You're not responsible for that. In fact, it's none of your business what other people think of you. And when you start to learn that and being a people pleaser, as I am, a middle child, being a middle child or any kind of child, I just think everybody likes to be liked by other people, right? And we try so hard to get away from that comparison trap, or that idea of doing things based upon what other people want to see from you or do from you. And that holds you back. It holds you back from really pursuing what it is that you want. But that's a game changer when you learn that you're not living for other people's beliefs, for other people's opinions, for other people's happiness, for other people's success. When you stop living for other people and you really, understand that we are responsible to the service that we've been given. We're responsible for the jobs that we've been given. We're responsible for the duties that we have. We're 100% responsible to those things, but we're 100% responsible for us and what we bring forward in the world. And when we live an intentional life, when we get the understanding of why we were put on this earth, what we were put on this earth to do, and we learn how to really narrow in and get intentional and put everything into our life direction on that purpose, our life comes alive. And this morning I want to talk about decision, because this is a really important thing about learning your worth and knowing your value, is being able to make decisions. And decisions come from not being a people pleaser, not looking for other people's opinions, right? It's okay to ask people things, but you need to know who you're asking. Are you asking people that live their life small? Are you asking people who have a hard time making decisions for themselves? Are you asking people that have never taken a chance or risk on anything? Are you asking those kind of people? Why? That's what I got to ask you. Are you asking those kind of people? And probably you are. I used to be that person. I used to be that person that before I would make any decision, I felt like I needed to be this super accountable person, going around and asking people's opinions. And, you got to be under authority. You got to be. So I was raised in that mindset of thinking that I needed to ask for people's opinions before I made a decision. Not that that was told to me, except for that's what my environment, that's what I learned, and that's what I knew. And because I lacked confidence. And so before I would make any decision, I would go around asking people, every person. And really it was about that I wanted them to tell me that they believed in me, that I could do it, and it's your decision, and, go for it. But you never got that, because people love to share their decisions. People love to share what they think about their thing. And if you do this, you live your life like this, you're going to get your dreams popped. You're going to get taken in many different, ways to go by listening to other people and asking for their opinion. In Think and Grow Rich, which is a book that I love, I'm doing it right now with my mentor, Paul Martinelli, that's been studying it for, 35 years. And he's mentored us and taught us how to read it and study it and grow in it. So I've taken it on for myself, that it's a book that I keep with me close by and on my reading table. And you'll see here, like, it's getting torn, it's underlined, it's circled, because it's like, for personal development, this is really the book. The Bible and Think and Grow Rich are like two of my favorites. They really are. And the Bible, of course, has superior authority and power over that. But it really does. In Think and Grow Rich, there's so much of the Bible in this book that it's so awesome. Anyways, I digress. The power of decision, the chapter on decision, the principle of decision. It says, accurate analysis of over 25,000 men and women who have experienced failure disclose the fact that lack of decision was near the head of the list of the 30 major causes of failure. This is no mere statement of a theory. It is a fact. Procrastination, the opposite of decision, is a common enemy which practically every person must conquer. If you feel stuck, if you are stuck and you are not performing to the level that you know that you want to, that you desire to, that you really crave for, and you just know that you're stuck, that you need to make some changes, it's based on this principle of lack of decision. You know what the right thing is to do. You know what the next step is that you need to take in order to get closer to what it is that you want. You already know, it's already in you. The answers are already in you. And you don't need to go around asking everybody's opinion. Is this the right thing? Should I do this? I'm going to tell you something. 5 years ago, I made 3 major decisions in my life in 1 year, in the same year. I'm really not suggesting that you make 3 major decisions in your life, but this is what happened for me, and it changed my world. It changed my life. In 1 year, I made 3 major decisions, and I didn't ask other people's opinions, and it has changed my life. The first one being I joined John Maxwell Mentorship and Coaching. That was number 1. And this is how it happened. I asked God, I was like, and I didn't even really ask God. I just had a conversation. I said, if they offer a price that I just cannot refuse, at that time, that was my level of awareness of what things cost. And that was based on my decision. And it might be yours. You may not be making decisions because you're counting your pennies and your dimes and your quarters. The economy is hard. Things are hard. I get it. But there might be a decision that you need to make that is going to put you forward into what it is that you really want. And it's going to cost you something. To go further and greater in your life, it costs you. It costs you relationships. It costs you money. It costs you changing your environment. It costs you having to move to another country or province and state. I don't know. But if it's free and it doesn't cost you something, then it's not worth going after. But that was my level of awareness that if it goes on sale, if something should happen, God's probably like, okay, if they make an offer that I can't refuse, that because I know that it's a right decision for me to make, but I'm looking for a way out. I'm looking for a way out. If they put an offer that I can't refuse, then I'll sign up for John Maxwell. Well, 2 or 3 days later, one of the person that introduced me to John Maxwell calls me up and says, Grace, you're never going to believe this. I have not seen this in the time that I've been with John Maxwell. They're doing a family and friends offer. This is ridiculous. You have to sign up. What was I going to do? Right? Walk away from what I put out there? You have to put things out there. You have to put things out there. You have to ask, and it shall be given. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and the door will. You know what it is that you want. Throw it out there. Ask the one, the source. But ask yourself too, is this going to move me forward? Is this going to help me in my life? Would this be a really great decision? Tiny, follow me. I have this new webcam and it's AI and sometimes it was tracking. So that was the first thing that I changed in my life that year. I didn't ask anybody's opinion. I just did it. Greatest thing in those years. The second thing that I did was I'm a realtor. Been a realtor. At that time, I had been a realtor for 11 years. Love being a realtor, love people, love doing what I was doing. But there was, an option for a change. There was a choice that was given, and it wasn't traditional. It wasn't ordinary. In fact, it was at that time, only 6 years ago, people hadn't even heard of it. It was a new concept, a new model. And, I tossed it around, the idea, to a couple of people. I didn't tell a lot of people because, again, I was understanding that if I wanted to make changes, if I wanted to do something different, I don't need to go around and ask for permission or ask everybody's ideas. But when I did to a couple people who are used to the traditional model, traditional ways of doing things, they're not even real estate, but they're just, tied to, they're like, I don't know, the doubt. I had to shut it off immediately because their opinions were going to change the course, and they really didn't know how to speak into what it was that I was looking for. So I asked the people that actually knew, and I just actually found out more about the company and trusted the person that was introducing it to me, and made the decision. I had an amazing assistant at the time when we talked about it, and she had already, been a part of a brokerage that was newer at one time. And so she's like, really, what could go wrong? You can always change back. You can always, I was like, you're right. Like, this is a no-brainer. This is going to be absolutely awesome. I made the decision. I jumped in. I never looked back. I would never go back to a traditional brokerage, knowing what I know now, making extra streams of income, money coming into my bank. Oh yeah, multiple streams of income, doing real estate. Didn't have to change my career, just change brokerages, multiple streams, baby, growing my life. Amazing. Made the decision. Again, didn't go around everywhere looking for answers. I just did it. And number 3, the third and the craziest one that I did in the same year the economy had changed. And this is where you look for opportunities, right? You look for opportunities of what it is you can do to invest yourself further in your community, getting to know people, right? Making a change for your life. Well, an opportunity was presented to me, and there's a big story behind it. So we'll skip that big story. And it was to run for municipal government, to become a city councilor. Again, I could have gone around asking people if that was a good idea, looking for somebody to tell me to say, no, it's not a good idea. Don't do it. But I didn't. I went within myself, right? And I asked God, and God answered me. He said, before I even had this idea, actually, it was an idea. That's another story. Like years prior, I said, I think I'm going to run for city council. I was folding my clothes one day in my family room, and I just had this drop of idea, God idea, spirit idea into me. And I was just folding clothes, and I said out loud, and this is really important. This is an important key, guys, when making decisions, is you need to speak it out loud. When something comes into your awareness, when an idea comes into you, it's not from you. You're not that smart. I'm not that smart. When an idea comes and you grab a hold of it, you pay attention to it, and it like gets seated in there, you need to speak it out loud. And so I said, I'm like, this idea, I think I'm going to be city councilor in 5 years. Well, it was actually 6 years after I made that statement that someone approached me and said, I'm running for another position. I think you would be really good for this position. Never ran a campaign, never really even knew who my mayor or councilors were before. I just love my community, love people, and knew that I wanted to get involved in a greater way. So I put my name forward, ran for councilor, and won. And now I'm in my second term. And it's been an absolutely amazing experience. Learning how a municipality is built, walking alongside incredible council people, an incredible mayor. I'm really blessed to have a really great group of people, and the staff at our town are absolutely amazing. I never would have had this experience if I hadn't have said yes and made a decision what was right for me, what I knew in my heart of hearts, what I needed to do to take the next step forward. So if you're feeling stuck and you're like, 2024, I'm going to get myself unstuck. I'm going to make some decisions. I'm going to make some changes that are going to move me forward to what it is that I want to do. Maybe it isn't, you don't know what it is that you want to do. We need to discover and help you figure that out. John Twain says, Mark Twain said, there's two greatest days in a person's life. The first being when they were born, and the second when they discover why. When you want to discover that why of why you want to do what you're doing. People can get so stuck. I remember being in that place of, I was 31 years old. I had 3 kids, didn't have an education past high school. And I was like, what am I going to do with my life now? Seth went into school, and that was my thing. I wasn't going to seek out a career until my last was heading into school. So I was 31 thinking, what am I going to do? And I was so stuck on making a decision, asking everybody what it was. Guys, this keeps you stuck. Procrastination, the failure to make decisions. And you fail to make decisions because you don't value yourself. You don't value who you are. And this is the greatest detriment. Yesterday, I'm going to finish off with this. Yesterday, I listened to a podcast that really put into alignment of why I do what I do. Who am I doing it for, and why does it matter? My purpose really is to help wake the dead things in a person's life, to help them to align with that purpose, to get them really intentional, and for making decisions to really pursue what they know that they're to pursue, and living a life that is thriving and fulfilling and living in that place that they were predestined. That's what I do. So I have so many tools, NLP tools that'll fast track you from getting unstuck and shifting your belief and state. Then we have, communication programs that I can take you through to help you communicate with other people and express how it is that you want to communicate and learn how to communicate with people that are different from you. I have a sales mastery course. I have every tool that I can give you to get you unstuck and to really help you move forward to what it is that you want to do. And yesterday I was listening to this podcast, Ed Millett. I listen to him every morning when I go to the gym. It's absolutely invigorating and amazing. But yesterday's podcast had somebody that I think is going to put Taylor Swift on her butt and take away all attention from, because this woman deserves your attention. She is absolutely incredibly awesome. And her name is Jamie Kern Lima. I say her name incorrectly because I always want to say it's Jamie Lee first, but it's not. It's Jamie Kern. It's Jamie Kern. And she's absolutely incredible. She has an amazing story. You have to go and listen to that episode. I posted it on the Facebook. Listen to her podcast. She sold her product, her makeup product, for $1 billion to L'Oreal. And she's releasing her book called Worthiness. I was so moved that I bought 10 books. Okay, so this is how I've gotten really good at making decisions. I don't waste time making decisions. I listen because I know when I hear that I respond and I'm obedient to it. And whether it's a good decision or wrong decision, God makes everything work for good. So I'm not worried about it at all. So I bought 10 copies of this book because I believe in it so much. 10 copies. It cost me $300 something US. But I bought it not only for myself, but to give to others because Jamie has a story that every person, not just women, need to hear about their worthiness. It was epic. And she's epic. And she's the one type of person that I want to see influencing people around the world. So I bought 10 copies, giving them out. I have a few already taken because there's some special people that I want to make sure that they read it for themselves. And then there's going to be 5 copies that I can give to others. But here's the thing that I came up with today and made a decision. We made a decision that moved us into a new place that is absolutely incredible. But I see, I've turned half my house into my mentorship center where I'm going to be running vision retreats for people that want to get real clear on what it is that they want. And we're going to spend the day going through shifting their beliefs and their states, getting clear on what it is, creating a vision statement, even starting on their vision board. By the time that they leave, they are walking out of my door with a new confidence, with action steps of what it is that they need to do and decisions that they need to make every single day of their life. And so Jamie is running this incredible event that I want to invite people into my home. We have a theater. Now, it's not a huge theater. It's about, I can fit, I think I calculated 18 plus myself and my daughter. We want to invite you into my personal home to spend a day, February 24th, from 10 a.m. till whenever. They have multiple speakers, my most favorite speakers. This is like the most incredible event happening. And if I get too many people interested in coming, I'm going to have to rent out a movie theater. And I'm okay with that because I believe so much in the message that Jamie has and the people that she has invited to come and speak. Ed's going to be there. John Maxwell is going to be there. And many, many more. All the top mindset mastery and motivational speakers and trainers are coming to this event because Jamie is worth it. Even Furtick, Steve Furtick is going to be there. I just found out today, which is like puts it over the top. Anyways, so I'm going to be giving exclusive invitations to my house for an entire day of women, empowering them to discover their worthiness, to really challenge what they believe about themselves and how that is keeping them stuck. And I'm really excited about the invitations. But if you are interested and you want to find out more about what it is that I'm doing or this event that Jamie's holding and coming to my house for the day and really invest in your time, invest in yourself, invest in your year, let me know. I want to know. Because if something happens that we have too many women that are saying, I want to be a part of this empowerment day with you, then I'll be forced to have to rent out the movie theater. And I will, because that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm living for. And so I make my decisions based upon grace. Will this move you closer to what it is that you know that you want in your life, that you want to fulfill in your life? And it's about waking dead things up and making them alive in people's life. And I believe that this event is going to do that. So friends, happy Thursday. I hope that when you're faced with having to make a new decision, wanting to make a new decision, getting excited about making a decision that is going to help you be more intentional, get more motivated, and put you in a drive forward to get yourself unstuck, to really pursue and do the things that you love to do, that you really want to do, that gets you excited about getting up every single day. I'll see you again tomorrow, where we're going to be talking a lot more about building your confidence and knowing your worth. Bye for now, everybody. Have a great day.